On today's podcast, we're going to look at overcoming adversity. In Proverbs 24:10, it reads, "If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small." Now, it's important if you're going to trend upward in your walk with God, that you're going to have to learn to continue the upward trend through adversity. Job said that man born of woman is a few days and full of trouble. So few days plus full of trouble equals more trouble than days. So trouble is all around. It is a matter of life. Solomon said in Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 10, "I have seen the travail which God hath given to the sons of men to be exercised in it." We see the principle here that God has given us travail, and He has given us travail to exercise through it. So why? It's not that God is cruel, unloving, or desires to see us struggle. It is to make us strong. He needs us to be strong and of good courage. However, this only comes through exercising through travail, exercising through our difficult days and seasons and even years at times. However, oftentimes, this is how we respond, though. I'm feeling down in the dumps today, so I'm not going to go to church this morning. I'm not going to serve in my ministry today. Someone else can cover for me. I'm not going to tell people about Jesus today out on soul winning. I'm going to take the day off because of the travail that I am dealing with and experiencing. However, even though we have all been here, we must realize that weakness begets weakness. Making choices that cater to the flesh will keep us weak in the spirit. But when we crucify the flesh and walk in the Spirit, we will have the strength of the Holy Spirit in our lives. This means when life is tough, then we get up and get going. We do what needs to be done, even though life is tough. Proverbs 24:10, again, it says, "If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small." Adversity is all around. It's a commonplace in our day. The word faint means in context to sink into dejection, to lose courage or spirit. The word dejection means a casting down, depression of mind, melancholy, lowness of spirits occasioned by grief or misfortune. So when we find ourselves weak, then we need to be made strong. Now, who is our source of strength? Our source of strength is Christ, which means Christ and His strength is the cure for depression of mind, which means on Sunday morning when you wake up and you're feeling low and you're feeling defeated and you just don't want to live life that day, that's the weakness of the flesh. And the source for strength is Christ, which means we got to drag ourselves to church sometimes. We've got to drag ourselves to do what it is that God would have us to do. Our weakness has been highlighted whenever we are tempted to not do the things of God because we do not feel like it. The Marines had a slogan, "Pain is weakness leaving the body." Now, when you think about this, you go through the pain of running, the pain of hiking. Okay, but it makes you strong, which means as where before you felt weak at a quarter mile or you felt weak at half a mile, now you feel strong at a quarter mile. Now you feel strong at half a mile. Now you feel strong at a mile, or you feel strong at 3 miles or 4 miles. And even on hikes, we would go out to 25 and 30 miles at one time on one hike. And through working through the adversity and the trials and the tribulation and the pain. It was weakness leaving us to be replaced with strength. Christ and his strength is the cure for a depression of mind. Christ is the cure for a low countenance. We saw the word, the definition there. We saw melancholy. Melancholy is someone who is given over to depression of the mind. Melancholy means a gloomy state of mind, often a gloomy state that is some continuance or habitual. Depression of spirits induced by grief, dejection of spirits. Do you ever just wake up in the morning and in your mind you say, not today? Or maybe even out loud. I know I have. Some mornings I look at my wife and I say, not today. She says, not today what? I said, not today anything. You just aren't feeling life that day. Not feeling getting going about the day. Not feeling doing something that day. But what needs to be done is that we get up and we get going. We make a choice, as Joshua did, to serve God with the day that he has given us, to serve God with the breath that he has given us. You know, every day we are a steward of the day. We are a steward of the breath that God woke us up with. We are a steward of the life that God woke us up with. Life is going to be full of travail and adversity. But I encourage you to labor through the travail and the adversity for the Lord and for his glory. If you're going to trend upward, we cannot allow the things that are seemingly on top of us, whatever the travail may be, whatever the adversity may be, we cannot allow those things to keep us down. We've got to work through them. We've got to labor through them. We've got to show up at our place of service when it's time to be there. We've got to show up whenever it's time to meet with the Lord in his house, whatever the schedule may be for your church. We've got to be there when it's time for soul winning, if you are able to be there. There are things that need to be done for the Lord and for his cause, and we have got to commit that no matter what's going on and no matter what's happening in our life, that we're going to be faithful to God and we're going to be faithful to his ministry and what he has called us to do. And by doing that, it'll be amazing how much more strength we have for the Lord and for his labors and for his cause. By battling through weakness, by crucifying the spirit, the flesh, and walking in the Spirit. It's amazing what we will be able to accomplish for God. And I promise you, this right here is vital to you and trending upward with your walk with God.